Warning, the following images you are about to see were not drawn by a third grader and may cause mild headaches, heart failure, and/or melting eyeballs. Viewer discretion is advised.
To get 99, I was always told the best charms was bursting rock lobsters. But I said, fuck that shit, your boy ain't got money for that. So I did the next best thing, which was water fiends in the chaos tunnels, which actually made money. Granted, it wasn't a lot of money, but at least I wasn't losing money. After going there without a Titan, I realized I needed to get 95 for the Iron Titan if I really wanted to be efficient at getting charms. So I did several different things, from training Slayer and using the effigies on summoning and collecting charms, killing Mithril Dragons, using the effigies on summoning and collecting charms, and killing Frost Dragons, collecting the bones, and using the effigies on summoning and collecting the charms. I think you get the gist of what I did to get 99. And by that, I mean I used effigies on summoning and I collected charms. Anyways, the best thing about doing that was I was making money at the same time, and I needed a couple mil to pay for 99. I used whatever money I made towards summoning and eventually got 95. I spent the next week or so killing water fiends with my new best friend Iron Man. Every day when I was about to get off, I would use the charms I got that day, slowly leveling up every day or two. At about level 97, I believe it was, they announced the warped floors for dungeoneering in the behind the scenes. Perfect timing, right? I went back to dungeoneering for a bit and I decided I wanted to get 100 before they came out so I would have that extra bind. I got it that day. Dungeoneering's hella fast. The floors came out a week later and I quickly got my hands on a primal plate body. During this time, I had been working at a sub place to fund living on my own. I'm not going to mention any names, but I'm sure the picture will give a pretty good hint. I had just graduated high school and I was extremely socially awkward. This didn't couple well with my job, which literally dealt with people all day. I eventually started getting less and less hours at work because I had a hard time with the job because I was so terrible with people skills. Eventually they decided to let me go. I still had quite a bit of money to last me for a bit until I found a new job, but being fresh out of high school, I was really lazy and I procrastinated with finding a job. Eventually I was running low on funds to keep living on my own. I was going to have to move back in with my parents within the next couple days. This was probably the saddest moment of my life. My stepdad didn't like how much I played RuneScape and he told me he wasn't going to let me play at all while I lived with him. This was the biggest bummer because I was so close to maxing I could almost taste it. So I did what any true RuneScape addict would do, and pulled a few 24-hour RuneScape sessions and got 99 summoning a day before I had to move back. I was happy to have reached my goal, but sad that I didn't get to enjoy it, and probably not get to play RuneScape for a really long time. I moved back and became really depressed because I didn't get to play my favorite game anymore, and I was also getting bitched at daily about getting my life together from my stepdad. Of course he was right, but I didn't want to hear it. After a couple of weeks, my mom eventually let me start playing again while my stepdad was at work. I was so happy to finally be able to play again, even if it was only for a couple hours a day. A few months later, I got another job, and I wanted to prove to my stepdad that I could work hard, support myself on my own, as well as keep going with my hobby. After about 3 months at my new job, I was offered a management position at work, and I happily took it. I think this was finally what was needed to prove to my stepdad. He allowed me to start playing again. Granted, it was only 2 or 3 hours a day, but hey, at least I didn't have to go around sneaking about on it. I soon after achieved 120 dungeoneering, and I was finally officially a max player. Not too long after, I moved back out and life got pretty much back to normal. Though RuneScape got boring fairly quickly, with nothing hardly to do and no goals to work toward. Not too long after, they started talks about a completionist cape and started giving out requirements for it before its release. I started working on those and quickly got all of the requirements for it so I could have it on its release date. Soon after it was released, and I felt pretty cool being one of the first people with the cape. Soon after, again, I got bored often. A lot of my friends started quitting and I started getting discouraged from playing. I didn't want to give up on the game that has been a large part of my life and has been there through my ups and downs in life. I started thinking about making YouTube videos to keep myself interested in the game, and I uploaded my first video on June 28, 2012. I guess you could say the rest is history.